Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Let's figure out where the road goes.
Hey fam, sorry for this late video, but I'm watching the news and y'all, stuff is happening. So the US is on high alert for cyber attacks, and not just any cyber attacks on our infrastructure. This is a grid down situation that they are on alert for. But I want to bring this to you, so I'm gonna let this video play out. Feel free to leave some comments down below. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know what you're doing to possibly, have your family set. Okay, y'all, so trying to find some place to record is ridiculous in this house. I'm really gonna have to set aside like an office space or something. So I found an article, and it's saying that one of the most common survival problems we all potentially face is the power grid failure. And one of the most serious disasters we face today, they say, is an EMP. So I'm not getting into that. We just talking about the cyber hack and also the power grid possibly going down and affecting many infrastructures. So I'm going to tell you what else is saying in this article. So I'm going to read a little bit of this article here. It says, we depend upon the electrical power grid for so much that most of our modern society would come to a grinding halt. Companies couldn't sell their products without electricity to run their computers. Manufacturers couldn't make products to sell without electricity to run the assembly line. Trucks couldn't deliver those products without electricity to run the fuel pumps and fuel their rigs. For that matter, in the case of an EMP, which we're not talking about, the rigs probably wouldn't run at all. So it also goes on to say, while the country came to grips with the power grid failure and loss of electricity, you and I would have to figure out how to care for our families without electrical power. We use electrical power for many things on a day-to-day basis. None of those things would work in a power grid failure. To start with, we lose heat, cooling for our homes. We'd also lose refrigeration to keep our food from spoiling. Can your food. At the same time, all of the electronic devices that help us get the news, do our work, entertain us, will stop working as well. So one more thing before we get into what we can do to prepare for a grid down situation. It says, if there is any one disaster situation for which we should be preparing, is the power grid going down. Of all possible disasters, this is the one that could truly end life as you know it. Not saying anybody's going to die, just meaning the convenience of everything that we use electricity for. We would have to come up with a new way to survive. So the last thing I want to talk about, it says the most important thing we need to do in preparing for a grid down situation is to stockpile the necessities of life. This means food, water, as they would no longer be available to us. It also means fuel, medical supplies, candles, and any of the 100 different things that we need to survive. One of the most important things to stockpile would be heirloom seeds, so that we could grow food to eat once food stopped showing up in the grocery stores, and we already pretty much there on that, so you better be getting your seeds now, okay? In addition to stockpiling, we need alternative ways of doing things which we depend on the power grid for. That especially means heating our homes, providing light at night, cooking food, preserving food, and getting clean water to drink. None of these essential things will be available to us in a grid down situation. So basically, guys, all of the things that I just mentioned that we can do to help with the situation of a grid down if the infrastructure is hacked, cyber attack by Russia or whoever. We need to be doing the things that we are already doing, but we need to be consistent in doing it. And if there's some things on that list that you haven't started working on, you might want to add that to your to-do list. I know that a lot of products have gone up in price. from toilet paper on down to cooking oil. But these are things that we need to survive. And whether or not we survive and thrive is up to you and what you do today, or what you did yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So I don't know if, I can't remember if it mentioned water, but definitely have water. Enough water for everybody in your household. So if you think crime is bad now, let that grid go down. You're going to find out just how bad it gets. So you want to be able to protect your family, protect your preps. So this video definitely is not to scare you, but like I said, if something comes up and I feel I need to bring it to you in case you're not paying attention, or you just don't have time to be sitting looking at no news, then that's what I will do. Again, leave me some comments down below. Give some tips and ideas of things that you're doing. Are you making your own candles? Are you preserving your food? Are you growing your food? Have you thought about buying those heirloom seeds that this article is talking about, and that I even showed you a whole video on seeds that I received, survival seeds? Y'all go back and check that video out. So I'll see y'all in the next video. I love you guys, but God truly loves you more, and He is watching over all of us. Pray, y'all. Pray and prep. So if you can get you a water catchment system that you can put on your house to catch that rainwater, or get you a Berkey, get you some filters, because that water is not going to flow, honey. That water is not going to flow. So I will leave the link to this article in case you want to write it down, like if you're new to doing this, because some people are new to it. So you can make a list. I have other videos where you can make lists, or you can just look through YouTube, and there are so many videos and so many great channels out there. So find what you're comfortable with, and let's get busy, y'all. Let's be busy worker bees, okay?
New unnamed state hackers are infecting U.S. critical infrastructure, like electrical grid operators, with custom tools capable of worst-case scenario attacks. There is no soft pedaling it, she said. This is very serious.
Russian potential attacks on the grid, and we've seen what they've done in Ukraine. And the reason you and I know that we are in a heightened threat landscape right now is because we know they've had the access. We know that they have the capabilities to shut the power down. We've seen it in Ukraine. What they have not had until now is the geopolitical impetus to pull the trigger. And so there's some really interesting questions about the timing of these attacks right now. Well, there's a lot going on right now. So just in Ukraine, it appears to be the GRU. This is the Russian military hackers that had taken down the Ukrainian grid twice before.
Read CIS's advisory in full and do everything they say now. Who is that advisory targeted at? Who should take steps to make the kind of technical changes, very technical changes that are described in this alert, in order to protect the United States from this urgent threat?
Need to give them money and the tools right now, more than ever, to log what is happening on their network, to hunt what is happening on their network, to flag any suspicious activity for CISA, because this is a very serious threat. These are attacks on electrical operations. They mentioned one company, Schneider Electric, in there, whose devices have been compromised in this attack, and those devices are used to control key aspects of the grid, of manufacturing, of automation, of pipelines. And so if these hackers have the ability to take over those devices, you can imagine how they could be used for nefarious purposes. But the key thing is really read the advisory if you are an executive or if you are in IT leadership at any of these critical infrastructure organizations. It's really, really important.